Good morning here in Colorado. It's about 70 degrees right now, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to get up to 100, which I think is 38 Celsius. This is my first adventure with hugelkultur, and I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing it right. So what we have here is a log covered with upside down sod, spent brewery grains from our friends at Liquid Mechanics, that was free, some other biodegradable material including straw, which also doesn't cost me anything. And mostly what I have growing here are legumes. This is a good first crop for a hugelkultur, which its first year is not going to be releasing a lot of nitrogen. Here's a really pretty example of Cherokee Trail of Tears, which gets a lovely purple flower on it. And some leaves are suffering from the heat. And here is some food. It's starting to get bigger. This is the spectacular red flower is a Benchmaster bean, which is a British variety that should get beans about a foot long. Unfortunately, because of the heat here, we may not get that. We may just get pretty flowers. If we do get beans a foot long, I will be super, super happy. And this is a purple potted pole, which will also get 8-10 inches long, and will produce all summer long until the first frost. If you plant nothing else, plant these. So we're not going down that side today.
Alright, I can edit that out.
This is an adorable baby butternut squash, and the reason we have scaffolding here is because I'm trying to grow vertically as much as possible. And this monster, which starts about in the middle of the hugel over here, with these lovely beans as its neighbors, is about 4 feet long. So it is sprawling quite a bit. I'm not sure it was necessarily a wise idea to plant squash the first year on a hugel, but this seems to be thriving and it's got little squashes on it, so I'm going to defend that decision. We can probably talk about this in detail another time, but this is a lasagna garden, not so much of a hugel. We have celery growing over here, also celeriac. Fairly happy golden jubilee tomato, and as always, beans and beans and beans, and my little birdie friends living in that house. So, is anybody poking their head out?
Doesn't look like it.
I have a lot of excuses for not pulling things up and not pruning things the way I should. One of my excuses is, well, I eat it. This is dill and I eat it. Another excuse is pollinators like it. If something has flowers on it, I'm probably not going to pull it up unless it's bindweed.
God, bindweed is the worst.
Bindweed is the devil. Here is another magnificent example of a purple potted pole. Camera person, do you want to eat that? Here. So I'm going to walk up through here, and I'm reconfiguring the drip irrigation. So there's hoses everywhere. There are also a few volunteer tomatoes, which I didn't expect right here, but I can't kill anything, including volunteer tomatoes. So they're going to stay there, and I'm going to figure out how to support them. This is buckwheat. It's everywhere. It reseeds itself, and again, it's pretty. I eat it, and pollinators like it, so I'm not pulling it up. And here are the actual buckwheat seeds, which are like little pyramids.
And you're actually intentionally growing it.
I am intentionally growing it. It's a cover crop too, so, oh look, there's a little buggy.
Oh, it just flew into my face.
So this is a magnificent tangle, but we are getting some Japanese cucumbers. I have picked and eaten one already. This one is not ready to pick yet. I'll give it another couple days. They get quite long and they're delicious and fairly easy to grow for cucumbers. So this is a long, skinny hugel, effectively. It also has logs, twigs, brewery grains, straw. This is a dragon tongue bean, and I don't have an example of the actual bean on it yet, but they're absolutely magnificent and delicious. It's my friend buckwheat. This is a fairly exotic tomato. I believe it's called, this is something pink. It escapes me. I didn't think it was going to make it, but I put it here, thought I'd give it a shot, and it seems pretty happy. This is coriander, it's also cilantro. This is also something I just let go to seed, and it grows everywhere. And this is orach. It's basically, I've heard it called mountain spinach. It tastes like spinach, but it lasts a lot longer in your fridge. I have let it go to seed for like 5 years now, and it's overtaking the bindweed, and I eat it. Birds like it, and so it's just everywhere. It looks egregious, but this thing I didn't plant.
Monster.
It's a monster, and you know, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna leave it there because it gets flowers on it. And
Volunteer sunflower.
And birds like it. And I saw a goldfinch on it this morning.
Oh, cool.
So it's morning, and usually we'll see little snakes in here. I haven't seen one yet, but they're here. You just can't find them because they're afraid of us and they hide. The little garter snakes mostly eat earthworms and probably grasshoppers. So I don't want to come through here
And disturb that.
with
Your
and
blog.
risk injuring them with my string trimmer. So these weeds you see, and the things that are not weeds, this is mustard, by the way. Flowers, pollinators like, and I eat mustard. I love mustard, so I let it go to seed. I don't want to risk injuring the little snakes, so if serpents creep you out, even the small harmless ones, this would not be your happy place, but I have to pull up these weeds by hand.
Snakes.
Here's something else people consider a weed. It's purslane, and I eat it.
Does it taste good?
Yeah. I usually cook it, but you can eat it raw.
Tastes like plants.
Here's a fish pepper. That's a little guy. I have bigger fish peppers in a separate plot. And this is interesting. I didn't know what this was. It's a wildflower that's native, or maybe not native to here, but South America, that migrated here. And it's actually a hibiscus. And the flowers are beautiful, but by this time in the morning when the sun starts to beat down, they close up. So again, not going to pull these up. I know somebody might consider them weeds, but I've actually seen their seeds for sale online, so I can't be the only one who likes them. I like their little lanterns. This is a candy roaster squash, which, if it continues on its happy path, is going to sprawl on the straw here. And a candy roaster squash, the fruit itself is very, very big, so it's huge. My friend bought one last year, thought it was delicious, so she saved me the seeds, and now we're going to try and grow them.
I have a watermelon, I think, or it might also be a candy roaster squash in my garden.
Yeah, we'll do your garden next time.
All right, thanks.
And that's it from Deathplow. Thank you.
Bye.